There was some buzzing in one.
Check, check. 1, 2.
Testing 1, 2, testing. Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2, testing. Testing 1, 2.
The teams are ready to go in the swamp. The Middlesex League is heating up, and we've got a huge matchup on Worthen Road. The Rockets land in Lexington, but the Minutemen won't give up home field too easy. The first home game of October pits two young rosters set to battle it out at Harold Crum Field. It's Lexington and Reading on LexMedia. Connor, what do you know about Reading for tonight's matchup?
Reading, they've lost a couple games. I think they're 1-5. But they definitely have a couple good players, and my main interest is number 4, their receiver, Ryan Pulpe. 2 weeks ago, he had 8 receptions for 140 yards for 2 touchdowns.
He has been really good thus far in this season, averaging over 70 yards a game. Now, Ben, how are you feeling for tonight about the Lexington offense?
Well, when we talked to Coach DeLuca, he emphasized keeping it simple for young quarterback Ethan Hatch, and I think that puts the emphasis on the running back, Keandre Warren-Stevens. Last time when he played here, he was 22 for 67 yards. Not a glamorous stat line by any means, but he made yards himself, and I want to see him do that once again today.
Yeah, he does a lot of making yards out of nothing when there's not much there. He's able to take advantage. Set to kick it away here for Reading, as Lexington will receive. It's going to be number 23, Braden Nelson, is going to launch this one deep. He will give it a boot, low kick that is going to be caught and received there by number 15, who's going to break a couple tackles, and that's a good play by Kean Millett there, as he'll bring things up past the 30-yard line to the 31-yard line to begin the Lexington drive and send on Ethan Hatch and this star-studded offense.
Nice to see Kean back in action. I know he was back kicking last time we saw him, but we need some important skill players to step up, and he could be one of them.
Yeah, you're going to need to see a lot of new playmakers on the field making plays. Lexington will run out their wing tee offense tonight, and we will see if Reading can combat that. It took a while for Acton Boxborough to really figure that out, and it's really just going to be can they hold on and continue to do it. As quarterback Ethan Hatch will line up under center. In the backfield is going to be number 90, Christian Brown, and there will be a flag early on here. Offsides on the defense, it looks like, actually, which would mean 5 yards for Lexington. Hard to tell if someone jumped, but the ref was pointing to the right.
Yep. Nice start for Lexington.
It is going to be encroachment, and it is going to set up 1st and 5 from the 36-yard line here for this Lexington offense. Coach DeLuca did tell us earlier today that Christian Brown would be in the backfield getting a couple carries. So you've got the big body in the backfield. The defensive lineman is going to be getting some touches.
Even still, Lexington still looks very undersized. But, they've battled through that several times this year, and I think they can do it again.
Hatch will take the handoff and give it to Brown on the first play. He's going to keep going. He is still going. Christian Brown early on in this game running through people for a 15-yard carry out past the 50-yard line into Reading territory.
He's just bigger than them. They can't really bring him down. They had about 3 bodies on him, and even combined, they couldn't get him down.
Yeah, and when we talked to Coach DeLuca, he emphasized the energy and intensity battle early on, and Christian Brown embodies that, and that's why they're giving him chances, and he's making the most of them early on.
Yeah, that's something new that we haven't seen the last time they've played at home, as it was mostly limited to Tiandre and Eddie with Amari out, but looks like Christian Brown's going to take some of the load.
Tiandre is not currently in the backfield, but Christian Brown remains in that fullback position under center as Ethan Hatch will take the snap and now give it in the middle. Some yards up the middle. He will still going. The small running back picking up yards there for Lexington. Eli Selski on the carry.
Yeah, Eli's a very explosive player in the backfield, and he can do a lot with the ball in his hands.
Big time pickup there from Eli Selski. It's going to be 18 yards, it looks like there. 2 good offensive plays here early on in this game, as it will be another Lexington first down.
He just hits the hole so hard, and once he sees a bit of daylight, he could be gone on any play.
And so now it is going to be Hatch in the backfield, set to take this snap with Brown behind him. Hatch takes the snap and flips it back to Selski, who's going to drop back to throw. He'll launch one deep. We've got an open receiver, and the pass is broken up. No pass interference called, as he did get the ball. Daniel Zhang on the route there, looking to catch it from that tight end spot.
Looks like he was wide open, just a little bit of an underthrown ball, and the defender was able to get there and make a good play on the ball to deflect it and prevent an early touchdown for Lexington.
That was Keenan Millette launching that one deep to the end zone, but it is going to be broken up, and it will set up 2nd down and 10. You love the trickery, though, early on from this Lexington offense.
Yeah,
Absolutely. That's something we haven't seen a ton of early on in the season, but they're going to need all the help they can get.
And it looked like a good ball there. Is slightly underthrown, but good spiral, and looked like he could throw the football.
Yeah.
Hatch is going to be under center, and will take it and give it to Christian Brown, who's just going to keep pushing. I don't know if they can stop him, as he will just pick up some more yards up the middle here.
Christian Brown, a fan favorite at Lexington High School. Love to see the big man getting some carries.
And right now, they've struggled to stop it, as it is going to set up a 3rd down and 6, it looks like, here for this Lexington offense. First 3rd down of the night.
Yeah,
Curious to see on some of the longer 3rd down situations.
Yeah, Connor, what do you think they do here?
No, in Lexington, I think they're going to keep it on the ground here. And, it's obviously 2-down territory. They're going to go for it on 4th down like they always do around these yardage situations. But if they can pick up, 3-4 yards, I think that would be a good thing for them.
It would be about a 44-yard field goal from here. And they will look to pick up some more yards, as Hatch is going to go hard count early on. Now he'll walk around and tell everyone else what they're going to do on this play. Hatch will take the snap now and give it to Millette on the outside, who is just not going to be able to pick up much. Brought down for a loss of a yard or no gain there, as it is going to set up 4th down and 6.
Seems like they're keeping the offense on the field. I don't see a field goal team running out. It would be a kind of a long kick even for Millette.
It would be a long kick. I think he could maybe get it there, but this is going to be a 4th down and 6 attempt here is what it's looking like. We could definitely see them going hard count here. It is going to be 4th and 5, actually, so that would get them the 1st down.
Absolutely.
Now I'm interested to see if they go to the pass game. We haven't seen a lot of passing out of Lexington outside of a couple play action plays outside of their normal formation, but, running for 5 yards would definitely be
tall task.
Tall task, yep.
They took a shot earlier on this drive. Will they maybe do it again? As Patel lines up over the ball, set to snap it to Hatch. Hatch will rock around, tell everyone what to do. James Morin gets down in his stance. Hatch will take the snap and give it, as they'll do a double handoff, but it looks like he is brought down just short. Eli Selski could not quite get there, and it is going to be a turnover on downs there. Not great field position for Reading here.
Even though they turned the ball over there, I liked what I saw out of Lexington to start this game. They picked up a couple big gains, and it seemed like they added a lot more to their wing tee offense than they had, the last time we saw them at home, which is always great to see.
Yeah, Coach DeLuca emphasized that they were trying to keep it simple in the playbook, but we did see some trickery there, even on that 4th down, the double handoff. And I think once you get the fundamentals down, it starts to open things up.
So the Reading offense will trot out onto the field here. It is going to be Will Shute is going to be the one taking the snap in the shotgun. There are 3 receivers at the top of your screen here in this game. He'll take the snap and give it inside, a couple of yards on the ground there for number 33, Brady Lamontague, it looked like there on the carry.
Brady Lamontague on the carry. Tripped up by number 59, John Lilly, and number 44, Alexander Manson.
There by the Lexington defense is going to set up a 2nd down and 6.
Yeah, Lexington's defensive line has been solid, and hopefully they can force a stop here. It'd be great to see.
It's a lot of reps for Christian Brown here, as he was getting the carries offensively, and now is up in that nose tackle spot with James Moring on the other side. There's 4 receivers in the game now. And the quarterback, Shute, will line up in the backfield. He'll send a man in motion and give it to the man in motion, who will pick up some yards up the middle. That's the star receiver who we said was going to make an impact. He's still going up the sideline. Touchdown, Reading there on the carry. That is Ryan Polpe, the star receiver, gets an end around and goes for a massive touchdown.
Man, he just has electric speed, and once he got the outside, there was no catching him.
I mean, there really just was maybe one DB back there, and then a good block by his teammate. Couldn't really see who it was, but when he gets in an open space, it's going to be hard to stop him. I mean, as Ben mentioned, that's electric speed right there down the sideline, and ran for maybe 70 yards and didn't really slow down.
He's only 6 foot 170, but he is super athletic and will beat you down the field, and he did that on that play.
Yeah, to me, Lexington's just always got to have eyes on him when he's going in motion. You got to make the calls, switch him off, whatever you got to do. Keep eyes on Pulpy.
Yeah, they said they would think about him in the passing game, as the extra point here is going to go in barely on the left there. They said they would keep eyes on him in the passing game, but the run game they didn't really talk about, and that's how Reading beats them first, with their star receiver. And it looks like it's going to be, defense is going to need to step it up.
Yeah, they sent him in motion last second and then just pitched the ball to him. Defense looked a little confused out there, and he was able to get to the edge. And similar to Mari, you don't want to let him out on the edge.
Yeah, not sure Lexington's faced a guy quite this dynamic. We'll see how they adjust to him throughout the game.
He's killed a couple teams in the past and has 70 yards already. That's his season average. He picks up 70 right there to start things off. Alrighty now, going to kick it away is this Reading kicker. Lexington has got 2 deep to receive. It's going to be Kian Millett back there. And the ball is kicked. And now bring it up the field. He'll pick up some yards. Still going up the middle. He's got a lot of yards. He's got space. He's going to keep going. This is number 12, Jaden Waters. Can he get to the end zone? 10, 5, touchdown Lexington. They bring it right back and score a touchdown of their own. A super long return. 85 yards to the house for Jaden Waters.
Seems like they just couldn't really bring him down. He broke a couple tackles in the middle. They couldn't really get a good look on him, and then just, pure speed, and was able to beat down the defender to the end zone. Big way to respond for Lexington.
Special teams, definitely a way Lexington can make an advantage in this game, and Jaden Waters is another skilled player that Lexington needs to step up, and I think that's just the spark Lexington needed. Now let's see if their defense can get a stop.
Yeah, you love to see that explosive play out of, a relatively time-consuming and, run down the clock and beat down offense out of Lexington. That helps them because, they have a smaller roster, so fatigue would definitely impact them.
Yeah, and so they do make a great play there as they are going to trot the offense out onto the field here for this 2-point conversion attempt. Hatch will line up and give it to Brown up the middle. Does not look like he's going anywhere as they stop him in the backfield. So they will not complete the 2-point try. It is going to be 7-6 here for this Reading team in the lead. An electric play there by Jaden Waters, who breaks one tackle up the middle, and good blocking just gives him a chance to break one loose. Kian Millett did a good job of getting a ton of yards on that first kickoff return, and Waters says, I can get a lot more, and he does. Picks up an 85-yard touchdown for the Lexington Minutemen.
Yeah. Interesting to see Lexington go for the 2-point right off the bat there, as, I think they have a lot of trust in their kicker, Kian Millett. But, nevertheless, that's a great touchdown and a great response from Lexington.
They do have a terrific kicker in Kian Millett, but they do not use him, and so it will be the 2-point conversion attempt. As the Reading return team is out on the field, Lexington is still huddled around their coach, but set to kick it away in a second here with 7 minutes to go left in this first quarter. 7-6, Reading's in the lead.
And for Lexington, you're seeing a lot of guys step up and play huge roles here tonight. Eli Selski and Kian Millett coming back from injuries, and you can already see them on the kickoff team, on offense, on defense, making huge impacts.
They are doing everything that needs to be done here for this team thus far. Millett will be the one to kick it deep here to the 2 deep Reading returners. It is that guy we told you to watch out for. Ryan Pulpy is the one at the top of your screen there. Millett will go onside kick, and Lexington's going to have a shot at it, and they get it! The Lexington Minutemen recover an onside kick. Guess who it was? Jaden Waters. He returned the touchdown, and now he's going to pick up the onside kick. Back-to-back unbelievable plays for the Lexington player. My goodness.
That's a great kick by Kian. You couldn't really ask for much better. He put it maybe a little more than 10 yards, which is, the rule to recover an onside kick. And then Jaden Waters, just quick hands. Reading wasn't really prepared for it, and they're able to snag another possession out of this and, hopefully look to build on the momentum they already have.
And Lexington making a name for themselves, kind of a team identity of hitting you when you don't expect it. They do that with the play-action game on offense, and they just did it in special teams. And, Jaden Waters making an absolute name for himself on special teams here early.
Yes, and so it is going to be the Lexington offense back on the field here after a perfect kick. A little hesitant there for the Reading returner there, as it is going to be Lexington ball. Hatch will take the snap and fake it. Now he's going to roll out. They're looking for another play. He's going to break a tackle, still going. He runs, now will throw on the run, and it is caught by Eli Selsky, who's going to run it up the sideline. Eli still going. Eli Selsky with a big-time play as he is going to bring it deep into Reading territory. 30 yards on the play.
I mean, that's some great improvising by Ethan Hatch right there. You know, I think the read was there. They sent 2 people on the crossover from the left, and, you know, they kind of got bumped and tangled up, and he was able to get back to the left side and find Eli Selsky up the sideline and led him for a big gain of about 40 yards.
And you're seeing the sophomore quarterback grow up here as he makes a big-time play. That's just a big transition from what we saw just a couple weeks ago. It is going to be Hatch on the snap. He'll give it inside to Brown, who's going to pick up a couple yards on the ground as the clock continues to roll. 6 minutes to go here in this one as Lexington is driving deep into Reading territory.
I've been super impressed by the way Hatch has handled this offense early on. He's executed the simple things. That's what Coach DeLuca talked to us this morning about. It's just about the footwork and making sure everything is clean, the timing is right, and I think the Lexington offense has had such success because of his play early on.
For sure.
Patel lines up over the ball, and Hatch crouches down under center. Get the same 3 guys in the backfield they've had all night. Hatch will take the snap and give it now to Selsky, who's going to cut back. He'll cut back to the other side and bring things inside the 5-yard line. First down, Lexington maybe? Yes, they are going to give him the first down. It's going to set up first and goal from the 4-yard line for this Lexington offense.
Great vision and running from Eli Selsky, able to find a little bit of gap and pick up the first down for Lexington.
Yeah, I've been super impressed with Selsky early on. It doesn't seem like Lexington will have Tiandre tonight, but he's had that vision to find cutback lanes, and once he sees a little bit of daylight, he could be gone.
Yeah, he's also a bigger running back than Tiandre, which helps him a lot. So
Hatch is going to line up here as the offense looks to punch it in. Someone might have jumped there, but they're not going to snap the ball. Hatch tells the offense something as he will line up under center again. He'll take the snap and give it to Selsky up the middle. Can he lean forward? Can he get in? He does! Eli Selsky, touchdown Lexington. They've got the lead, 12-7 here in this first quarter. Some good offense by the Lexington Minutemen early on in this one.
Yeah, Reading's defensive line is just not being able to really do much against Lexington's offensive line. It's just positive gain after positive gain for Lexington's rush game.
And they're building on the momentum they built in the second half in Woburn. You know, Coach DeLuca said he challenged his team to just win the second half. They did that, and it seems like they're continuing to bring the energy and the intensity that they brought to that second half. They believe that they can do it, and they're succeeding early on.
It's a really good drive by the Lexington Minutemen. They got the ball at the 49-yard line, and they go 49 yards in 5 plays here as they will look to complete this 2-point conversion, but not get it once again. So it will be 12-7 after the 49-yard touchdown drive for the Lexington Minutemen.
It is Lexington 12, Reading 7.
Lexington does remain in the lead, though, despite the 2-point conversion struggles. You wonder if there's any issues with any snappers or anything, or if that's why they're not kicking these extra points. But for now, they're going to go for 2.
Yeah, very explosive offense by Lexington so far. You know, they have 2 touchdowns scored. And, the first quarter hasn't even ended, and they only put up 8 points against Woburn. So this explosiveness is great to see early, and it's all started with that onside kick.
And you've seen them, in the past, especially against Acton Boxborough, get shut down. But it doesn't look like the offense is going to thus far because they've done so many diverse things. It's a lot right now for Reading to stop, whereas they just kind of did the same thing every time in that Acton Boxborough game. So
they've added a lot more trickery.
Stopping. Yeah, certainly. A lot of trickery has been huge.
I think this is a huge drive coming up for the Lexington defense. The first drive was a one-play quick touchdown to their electric receiver. Yeah, 1 play. And I think, they've had a significant break. Another dribbler here.
Yep. Going to let Will dribble it, but this time it will be caught there by the Reading returner. That is Luke Rogerson who makes the catch. Good play by him as it will be Reading ball at the 44-yard line.
Seems like the game plan on kickoffs is, Lexington does not want to give number 4, Ryan Pulpy, a chance to even have a chance of returning it. So they're just kicking it short and making, sacrificing good field position in exchange for a chance out of a big play and a touchdown.
Yeah, and while you're doing it, or while you're doing that, you can get game-changing plays like they did on the first onside kick.
Yeah, it's given them some opportunities. As now the offense will set up. Polpe is going to be there in the slot as there are 3 receivers at the bottom of your screen. Will shoot, will be in the shotgun, and he will take the snap and give it inside. Not many yards there as a good tackle there by the Lexington defense. They flew into the backfield and tackled Brady Lamontague. It is going to set up 2nd down and 9 here, as this could be a big play to force a long 3rd down if Lexington defense can stand strong.
And just looking at the Reading quarterback, Will Shoot, he's another big body, and I think that's kind of similar to what we saw with the Newton South quarterback, and I wonder how they'll use them in the running game. Seems like he would be tough to bring down.
Yeah, he has not taken any carries on his own thus far, but they've only had 3 offensive plays. Shoot will take the snap and drop back to throw this time. He's going to launch one over the middle, and they found the hole in the zone as he fumbles. That's a fumble, but it is going to be picked up. Big-time pickup there by Brady Lamontague as the ball was dropped by Jaden Gomes on the catch. And it will be 3rd down, actually, as he got past the first down line, but fumbled it back.
Fortunate break for Reading right there, you know. Fumble, and they were able to recover and pick up a 1st down, so I think that's the best situation that could have happened, or, you know, the best outcome for Reading.
Seems like he caught it, made a football move, but then just took his eye off of handling the football, put it on the ground.
And he does drop the ball there, and it will set up 3rd down and 5. It was a good route over the middle and a good throw by the quarterback. Here's 3rd down and 5 for shooting the offense. He'll take the snap and play action. Now he'll throw it over the middle, and that is the receiver we said would touch the ball a lot. He gets things up to the 35-yard line. That's Ryan Polpe on the completion.
They seem to love these slot routes, you know, just run it up the slot and find the dead zone in the defense. Throw him a couple, you know, maybe a 10-yard pass and let him try to gain a couple extra 5 yards on after the catch. But
and he's not only showing his ability to have game-breaking speed, but on that play he just sits in the zone, finds the soft spot, and gives his quarterback a nice safety blanket.
Yeah, some zone early on and a lot of deep safeties for Lexington, as a timeout will be called by Lexington after the 2 completions there from the Reading offense.
Yep, back-to-back slot throws. One to number 14, Jaden Gomes, and the other one to Ryan Polpe.
Yeah, Reading not afraid to let it fly here. Seems like they're having a pretty balanced attack with both their running back Brady Lamontague and their passing attack with those electric receivers.
Yeah, Shoot gets the snap and just throws 2 good balls over the middle, which are caught on the slant routes, and they just get the ball in the middle and pick up a few yards. And that's going to be hard to stop here, as Lexington's worried about Ryan Polpe over on the deep routes, and so they're dropping some safeties deep and just leaving some of these underneath routes wide open. And, you know, eventually those are going to kill when it's just 10-yard gain after 10-yard gain.
Seems like they didn't stop the clock for that timeout. They'll have to fix that. Still running down as if the first quarter's about to end. Yep, they do fix it.
So things go back to 2 minutes and 42 seconds in this first quarter. It is 12-7 Lexington as the offense runs back out onto the field.
So Lucas seems like he's trying to tell his players something.
Shoot is in the backfield and will take the snap and play action again. He'll throw one over the middle, and again, more yards up the middle. That is the player that we said would kill us, and yet again he does. Ryan Polpe catches one and uses that bursting speed to beat the Lexington defenders down the field.
I mean,
big-time pickup there.
Once again, it just looks like they're throwing it maybe 7 to 10 yards down the field and just letting him do the rest.
Yeah, he's absolutely electric. And, you know, guys, we have a shootout on our hands. You haven't seen this much out of Lexington's slow-paced game, but this is fun, guys.
Yeah, this has been really exciting there as a good throw up the middle. That is going to be a terrific play there by the team, as that was a 35-yard touchdown. Quarterback is 3 for 3 thus far in this game. They missed the extra point, and so it will be only a 1-point lead. Surprised, actually, that they didn't go for 2 there to get the lead to 3.
Seems like it's early in the game. You know, you want to just maximize your expected points on the extra points. Connor, what do you want to see out of Lexington on this next drive?
I like to see him get back to the wing T formation like they have been, and just continue to mix in that passing game, because I think that's, where they can get a lot of their explosive plays when the defense is focused too much on the run.
Yeah, I want to see them continue to stay on schedule like they have. Coach DeLuca emphasized that, you can't just pull out the play action on 3rd and long when the defense is expecting it. It's got to be on downs where the defense is expecting a run. And, yeah, we have seen a couple of throws, and I want to see them take some deep shots.
In high school football, it is really important to stay ahead of the sticks, but especially for this Lexington team, as they just really can't pick up yards in a hurry all that often.
It's almost like service academies.
Oh, certainly. Yeah, they play service academy style of football, as now this kick will be launched deep. It was the electric returner who's going to catch the ball. It is going to be Jaden Waters who's going to run it up the middle. He picks up more yards and is still going before being taken down, but he does get things out to the 38-yard line for the Lexington offense to trot their way out onto the field.
Yeah, special teams have been a strength. They've had strong starting field position on each of their 3 drives. And I think that's a big contrast from their first games. I remember their first home game, they muffed the opening kickoff, and that execution in practice is really starting to show off in these games.
Yeah, I think overall they've developed a lot, and it's very visible for us who haven't really seen them play at home for about 3 weeks, but
yeah,
a lot more trickery and variation in their offensive game, and obviously cleaning up the mistakes.
Coach DeLuca emphasized that even after the loss.
Hatch gets the ball and gives things to Selski there. He's going to pick up a couple yards on the ground.
He said he was very satisfied with the level of intensity and the positivity that he saw in practice this week. Leaders like the 4 captains stepping up for their team and holding each other to high standards.
He said they would come out strong, and thus far they have, as now the offense will look to pick up a couple more yards on a 2nd down and 7 as the first quarter clock continues to wind. 2 minutes to go here in what has been an exciting first quarter thus far. Tons of exciting plays. It's hard to believe it's only the first.
Yeah.
Hatch is going to take the snap and give it to Millette, who's going to have a guy that gets right onto him. That was a really good tackle there by number 55, Brendan Bucciette.
Not much push up front for the Lexington offensive line. I think they've relied more on gap blocking, giving their running backs nice holes to run through. Let's see if they can open it up on 2nd down. Oh, excuse me, 3rd down.
Yeah, it is 3rd down and 6 here, as this is one of the longer yardage situations for this Lexington offense. Going to be interesting to see if they can pick this one up. Down a point here in this first quarter.
What do you guys think the play call will be here?
I'm looking at maybe a Christian Brown run here up the middle, as Hatch is going to take the snap, and this time give it to Selski, who's going to pick up some yards, but he is not going to get there, and it is going to set up a 4th down and 3 decision here early on for John DeLuca.
Yeah, it's definitely a harder one as they're backed up into their own territory, but I see Lexington going for this one.
Yeah, it seems like they're keeping the offense on the field.
Yeah, it's going to be 4th and 4, actually. The last time they had a 4th and short, they did not pick it up. It was 4th and 6 that time, so this one's a little closer, but it's going to be a hard one to pick up, as I think Reading is expecting a run. Maybe they'll roll Ethan Hatch out and pass, but it's going to be a tough play here.
Yeah, well, in these high school football games. Wait, is it 3rd down? I believe it's 3rd down.
And it may be 3rd down here. Is Hatch is going to
it's 4th down. It's 4th down.
It is 4th down. As
yeah, they'll take a timeout.
Lexington, they are not going to snap the ball. They went hard count, as there are 20 seconds left in this first quarter, so likely just 1 play to go as the offense heads into a huddle to set up their 4th down play or maybe a punt.
Yeah, well, in these high school football games, the punt, well, it isn't always exactly field flipping, so sometimes the idea of keeping the offense on the field might be more appealing.
Yeah, and Coach DeLuca has elected to do that on multiple occasions thus far this year, but we do know that maybe they could kick it deep here at the end of this first quarter. This would be good field position for a Reading offense that has not really had much trouble this far. It's really only taken 5 plays to score 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, well, maybe you're right. Maybe they do go to Christian Brown here on 4th down again. I think he's been a big player for them starting this game out. He's brought energy, he's brought physicality, and that's exactly what Lexington has looked for.
So it is going to be The clock still says 3rd and 4. I believe it's 4th down.
Yeah, the marker on the field says 4th down.
Yeah, mark on the field says 4th down.
Looks like it's 4th and 4.
4th and 4 here for the Lexington offense. The snap is taken and given up the middle to Selski, who will push. Does he get there?
He's got it.
It was really close.
Oh.
One ref signaling no.
The spot says that he was short.
Will they bring out the chains here?
That was really close there for the Lexington offense.
Lexington's off. Oh, and they call the first
give
down.
him the first down. Eli Selski pushes to get there. That's the type of effort that you need from this Lexington offense, and he does a really good job to barely pick up that first down, as it is going to run down the clock on the first quarter here. And an exciting game thus far. Lexington 12, Reading 13. Lexington at the 50-yard line looking to drive. We're glad you are all joining us here in this first quarter. On to the second after this.
And community spirit of all of our student athletes. Whether it's football, basketball, or beyond, LexMedia is here to bring the action home to you. Find us on cable, streaming online, or at lexmedia.org. LexMedia, channeling the vision.
Alrighty, the Lexington offense has flipped directions as they will go the other way. It was handed up the middle to Christian Brown, who is not going to pick up many on the carry, maybe 2 yards. It is going to set up 2nd down and 8 for the Lexington offense.
Yeah, possibly fatigue hitting him as, he gained about 10, 15 yards in that first carry, and ever since it's been slowly dwindling down. But I still like to see him giving him the carry here and there. It's great to see.
And so now it will be 2nd down and 8 from the 50-yard line as Patel steps over the ball and puts his hand on it. Now it's going to be Hatch in the backfield under center here. He will take the snap and hand it off as Millette up the middle. A couple yards there for Kean Millette, as it is going to set up now 3rd down and 5. Big time 3rd down here early on in this second quarter for the Lexington offense.
Wouldn't be surprised to maybe see a pass out of Lexington here. They've been a little less reliant on the run tonight than we have seen in the past. So,
yeah, last game we would have said that would have been crazy, but not this one thus far, as we've seen some trickery early on from the offense.
Looks like it's 3rd and a little less, about 4 yards.
3rd and 4 yards here on the 45-yard line.
And guys, it might just be that as Hatch, matures into this role, they're giving him more responsibility, more trust, and yeah, we'll see if they open it up here.
Yeah, and thus far he's done a good job taking that responsibility and turning it into yards for the offense. Hatch will take the snap and pitch it, as now it is going to be the double handoff again. It's going to be Selski up the middle, but he is going to be stacked up for only a 2-yard gain, setting up another 4th down and 2. Millette gave it to him, and he just couldn't get much in the middle there.
Seems like he got about halfway there. I'm sure they'll keep the offense on the field here for 4th down.
Looks like a little more than 2 yards for Lexington to gain.
Yeah, you knew it was 2-down territory, and they play it like that, picking up 2 of those 4 yards. That's not a great spot there from the refs, as it looks like it might be still 4th down and 3. Don't love the spot there from the refs, but they did give us one last series to give us the first down,
yeah,
so
true.
Can't complain too much. Another 4th down conversion attempt for the Lexington offense. Hatch lines up under center. We've got the 3 backs in the backfield. Mooring sets down as now Hatch will take the snap and give it to Millette up the middle. And it looks like it was Selski actually, but he is not going to get there. It's going to be 1st down and 10 for the Reading offense.
That was a great stop by the junior Brandon Lamontig. That's probably the brother of their star running back.
Yes, related to the freshman running back. Now we do have an injured player on the field here. You don't like to see it for the Reading offense or defense. It's going to be Luke Rogerson, who has played thus far. The senior hobbles off the field. Not fun to see. So what has been an exciting Reading offense thus far comes back out onto the field. He's been a really good quarterback thus far. Will shoot, and he is set to take the snap here in a second. It looks like some communications issues with the guys coming on the field, and they may need to spend a timeout. And they are, or actually a timeout by the defense.
Yeah, that's Lexington's last, man. You don't want to spend all your timeouts on execution issues early in the second quarter.
Yeah, they needed, I guess they didn't like the personnel package that the Reading offense had sent on or something like that. But it's going to be timeout for the Lexington team as they're going to be out of timeouts. You don't love it, the fact that they've had to use them thus far.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to save those for the 2-minute drill if possible. Or, you know, if they want a hard count on 4th down, but better that than give up a big play to Reading if you're not set up in the right formation.
Yeah, those timeouts are going to be needed in the second half, so you can't waste them then, but I guess if you're going to waste them at some point, you'd rather waste them now.
Although I'm not sure a 2-minute drill will be too important. I know this Lexington offense has been a little bit more explosive, but they do tend to stick to the ground game, and that's not really best suited for a 2-minute drill.
There is 9 minutes and 20 seconds still to go in this half, so definitely enough time for Lexington to get the ball back and punch another one in. But they are down a point here with Reading on the ball at their own 43-yard line. Shute is going to line up in the backfield. He's got a running back on his side and 2 receivers at the top of your screen. Schute's going to take the snap and throw it up the middle, and maybe a drop, maybe just too hard to catch, but Ryan Polpe couldn't come down with it.
Yeah, it seemed like it was a little behind him, and really with this star receiver, you just want to get it in his hands and in space and see what he can do.
Give him a chance to do something with it, as thus far he has been good. He's got that big-time 73-yard rushing touchdown, and he's had 3 completions for 48 yards. And a touchdown as well on top of that. So he's got 2 touchdowns thus far in this game. As now Schute's going to line up in the backfield. He will take the snap and give it to Lamontegu, who will carry it and get yards. He'll get the edge. He's still going. Montegu brings it up the middle, and a touchdown-saving tackle there from Jaden Waters and someone else who's slow to get up. Good tackle there by Jaden Waters and Donovan Shelton, who saved the touchdown, but really explosive play here early on from Reading.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. It looks really explosive out of that backfield, and not only do you have to worry about the pass game and the pitch to Ryan Polpe, you also have to worry about him too.
And so it's going to be the hurry-up offense as there's going to be Lamontegu, but he is going to be brought down. Terrific tackle. Awesome play there by number 41, Isaac Jego. He gets into the backfield and brings him down for a big-time loss. Great tackle. Way to just get into the backfield.
Yeah, shout out to my A-push classmate, podmate. He made a great tackle there, and I know he forced a fumble in the last game, so he's building on that momentum, getting a lot of snaps here on the defense.
Some juniors have come into the game to make some good plays, as now it is going to be a longer second down and 13 with 8 minutes to go here in the quarter. Shute is going to take the snap from the shotgun. He'll go play action. Now he's looking to throw. He'll launch one deep down the field to the receiver, who's going to go up, and it is broken up. Terrific play by Jaden Waters, who has been all over the place thus far tonight.
I think they threw a flag on the play. It'll be pass interference, and that'll set it running up with the first down in the red zone.
Yeah, they are going to call pass interference. They must have said that he got there first. It was close.
It was.
They give the call to the receiver, and the offense is going to get to move the sticks there, which is frustrating after that great tackle.
Not a stat that goes on number 4, Ryan Polpe's stat sheet, but regardless, he gains about 40 yards for his team.
And a terrific play there, as it is going to
actually it's only 15.
15 yards, but you know, better than a touchdown, I guess you could say, for Jaden Waters, as he saves a touchdown yet again.
I actually thought Jaden Gomes, their other receiver, was open on the other seam. Seems like Shute didn't quite see him, but gave his best player a chance, and it'll move the sticks.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely going to prioritize his best player. He's going to go in motion with Waters following him. They've got 2 guys on him at all times, pretty much, as it's going to be pitched to Polpe, who's going to bring it up the middle, but this time will be tackled, and there's a flag down. Hopefully holding on the offense there, but hard to tell what the flag was.
Waters seemed like he did a good job tracking him, you know, wherever he went. They were able to minimize yards, assuming not a penalty on Lexington.
Yeah, that was fantastic pursuit.
Yeah, he tracks him, and you see a linebacker go on that side with him as well. So it's just two guys on the star receiver at all times, which has seemed like it's going to be needed the rest of the night.
That'll move him back, though. Be 1st and 20, I believe, here. Get him off schedule.
Yeah, and the holding penalty there, it's going to really help out the Lexington defense and force a long conversion here. Last year and a little bit earlier on this year, we saw some struggles with Lexington and stopping some of these long situations. So we'd love to see them be able to come up with the stop here and get the ball back to their offense with enough time to score before the end of the half. Shoot will be in the shotgun here with the running back to his right. There's 3 receivers at the bottom of your screen, and he'll take the snap and look to throw again. He'll pass to an open receiver who drops the ball. That was a good throw there, but it is going to be a drop by the sophomore, Callan Mackey, who's unable to come up with it on the edge there, and it's going to set up a 2nd down and 16. They've really relied on the passing game a lot here, which has been really fun to watch as he's made some really good throws. He hasn't really missed any receivers all that badly. They've been all some really accurate throws here. And
and they've got, it seems like they have big athletic bodies outside. I know Mackey didn't come down with that one, but he's another playmaker on the outside, and it's always funny to see the contrast between the two teams. Lexington, the ground and pound, and it seems like Reading's opening up a little bit more.
Yeah, and so Reading is going to look to open up that pass game as they have now 4 receivers in the game. They don't really like any tight ends. Now Shoot is going to take the snap and drop back to throw yet again. He'll throw the screen pass now to the running back, Lamontegu, who will break a tackle and look to get into the end zone. He will not get there, but he'll bring things inside the 3-yard line. It's going to be 1st down and goal for the Reading offense.
Another explosive play from number 33, Brady Lamontague.
Yeah, Lamontague makes the play, brings things inside the 5-yard line, and sets up a tough situation here for the Lexington defense as Reading looks to maybe make this lead 2 scores.
Yeah, Lamontagne is just a freshman, but he's been absolutely electric here early on. Carried the workload for the Reading offense, and he's made plays on the inside and the outside.
And he's done it all over the field. They've had a ton of really good skill players. It is going to go back to him, and he'll bring it up the middle, and he will fall into the end zone. Just really tough running up the middle there as he's going to pick it up, and it's going to be a touchdown for this Reading team as they will go up 7 points with the extra point still to come.
Yeah, Lexington's defense hasn't really been able to stop Reading's offense, but it's kind of gone the other way as well. Seems like we've still got a shootout on our hands here in the middle of the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, there's 6 minutes and 48 seconds to go in this one. Despite missing the extra point last time, they will send out the field goal kicker to put one up again. Braden Nelson will be the one dropping back to kick it, and he is going to put the kick up, and it will go right through. 1 more point for the Reading offense, and it's going to be 20-12. Still a 1-score game here in this half.
Yeah, you have to think this is quite different from Lexington's last home game against Newton South.
The extra point is good. So
although they were up in the first half in that game, I think they're down here, but I think they're very much still in this game, and I don't think they're going to be demoralized at all. And I think Hatch and the offense needs to come out with a lot of energy here on the 2nd drive.
Yeah, you can tell when the offense is being shut down, and thus far in this game, they really haven't. They've, even their drives that have gotten stopped, it's been on 4th down conversions in the red zone or on the plus side of the 50-yard line. So they're doing a really good job thus far in this game with the offense, as they'll get 1 more shot before halftime. Here is what it's going to look like. Still 6 minutes and 48 seconds to go, as they'll send their 2 solid returners back. Jaden Waters and Keen Millette are set to look to make some big returns.
See if they can make another play on special teams here. Set their offense with, even if it's just getting out to the 30, the 35, the 40, that'd be great starting field position for the offense.
Yeah, it's looked like they've been 1 broken tackle away every time from taking it to the house. And they did it that one time. Now it's going to be launched deep by the Reading kicker. He will give it a kick. It is going to go to Millette this time, who will take it and will look to see if he can pick up some yards. He's got space. He's got a hole. Hasn't been touched yet. Still going before being dragged down at about the 45. He's still going here as he gets things all the way out to the 50-yard line. Really good return there. He just didn't get touched until the 45-yard line and just kept the legs moving to pick up 5 more yards.
Yeah, these players, Waters, Selski, and Millette, have been have been super silky runners early on, finding great holes and creating great starting field position for the offense.
They have been really good thus far, as the offense will come onto the field to do what they would hope could be the final drive of the half. With the speed that their offense moves at, they can maybe run things slowly and close out this clock. And so Hatch will line up under center and take the snap and give it to now Tiandre Warren Stevens, who's back in the game. He's going to pick up a couple of yards. New running back in the game, maybe just a new look for the Reading offense.
Yeah, we haven't seen him yet this game, but he was the workload running back last time against Newton South, last home game. And I think now that they have some of their more experienced or some of their other running backs back, Selski and Millette, they've had the workload. But I want to see he had explosive plays early in the season. I want to see this change of pace here.
And it is still Christian Brown with him in the backfield, as it is going to be given to Tiandre yet again. The small running back picks up some more yards and sets up a 3rd down and 6. Tough sledding here for the Lexington run game. This is a huge play here because if they can't pick it up on this series, giving Reading the ball back, maybe to go up 2 scores before the half, and would be really tough to come back from. So big time swing here on this series.
Yeah, and once again, guys, 3rd and long. What do you see the play call being?
I'm looking at maybe the double pitch play again.
Yeah, that's a good
They've
one.
done that on some of the longer conversions thus far. They do still have 2 plays to get it, as he's going to roll out now. Hatch looking to throw. He'll throw it over the middle. Brown unable to come down with it. And then there was a chance there for number 44, Alex Manson, the captain, but neither one could bring it in. And good throw from Hatch on the run there, just a little behind him, and they can't bring it down. So it is going to set up 4th down and 6 as the offense does stay on the field.
Yeah, and with guys having to fill in, you don't usually see a guy like Christian Brown running a route, but he got himself open, just couldn't quite hold on.
Yeah, so it looks like the punt team is actually going to come on here, as they will look to pin them deep. It's Armand Esba set to kick it away. And one more guy coming on the field here, as he will look to pin them deep with 5 minutes to go in this first half. Armand's going to take the snap, and he will kick it.
I think that's Isaac Jago, actually.
Oh, Isaac Jago, okay. Kicks it deep. It is returned. It's the good returner, the awesome player who's killed us all night, but a big tackle.
That's Kean Millette right there.
Millette, what a
big
play.
Tackle.
Kean Millette, possibly a touchdown-saving tackle there on Ryan Polpe. He delivers a big hit at the 40-yard line, and it is going to set up 1st down and 10 for the Reading offense, but big-time play there from Kean Millette.
See, right there, they punted the ball and still maybe only put him back 5 additional yards if they would have just went for it. So.
Yeah, that was actually a pretty long punt, but with the explosive player back to return, you have to. That's another factor once again to consider when you're thinking about these 4th down decisions.
Yeah, maybe do you look to punt the ball out of bounds or something like that, just to not give him a chance, as it is really tough with such an explosive player back there to figure out what to do. The explosive player will run in motion, and it's going to be snapped and thrown over the middle. The slant routes have killed Lexington all night. That is a beautiful pass with not much space to throw it. It's a good throw there by Will Shute as he finds Jaden Gomes in the middle.
Great decision by the quarterback. He sent his man, Ryan Polpe, in motion, realized they were man, and just hit the easy slant for a gain about 10 yards.
Yeah, and so far it's been Shute getting the ball out quickly. We haven't seen a ton of drop back throws. It's been these quick slants. Maybe they're afraid of the Lexington pass rush or just trying to get their playmakers in space with the ball.
Yeah, he's hit some really good throws early on into tight windows, as he will give it to the running back. But guys will get in the backfield really quickly. Great play there by Faisal Nizbuka, who gets into the backfield and trips him up.
Yeah, great pursuit by Faisal Nizbuka. It almost seemed like an RPO or a read option, and he kind of played both sides of the fork. He played the running back and the quarterback and wrapped him up for a loss of yards.
And so it's going to set up 2nd down and 11 from the 50-yard line with 4 minutes and counting to go in this second quarter. Shute is going to line up in the backfield. He'll take the snap. Now he'll throw it over the middle again. Just more throws up the middle as Lexington's giving up the short plays. That is a good catch by Braden Nelson, the kicker actually, with the junior as well, comes up with the play to set up a 3rd down and short. 3rd and 3, it looks like here.
To me, if you're Lexington on these, even on these first downs, as long as it's long distance, you might want to think about sitting a little more underneath. We have yet to see, maybe you're afraid of number 4, Poolby's long play ability, but so far it's just been underneath it. Maybe you want to start sitting on that a little bit more.
Yeah, it's going to be a handoff to Montegu, who's going to pick up some yards and break another tackle. He looks to cut things into the end zone, and he does. Breaking a ton of tackles there is the Reading running back, number 32, Brady Lamontague, who picks up a ton of yards on the ground and punches it in for the Reading score.
Yeah, much like the Lexington skill players, he's also got electric speed on the outside, and once he got the edge, there was really no catching him. Isaac Jeggo might have had a chance, but couldn't quite wrap him up, and he's in for touchdown. But I think there's still time for Lexington to drive the field here. 3 minutes to go. That's plenty of time to work with.
Yep, yeah, especially with their improved passing attack.
Yeah, there could be a chance here to get some more as Reading will look to knock this one through to make it a 15-point game. Kicker does knock it right through, and so it's going to be 27-12 here in this one with 3 minutes to go left in this first half. Lexington's going to see if they can build on some of the magic from early on. Maybe a good kickoff return would really help.
I'm looking at that double, or the handoff into the pass. Selski, Millett threw a good ball on that first one, and I want to see them whip that one out. Once again, it seemed like they schemed their receiver open. It was just the timing was a bit off.
Yeah, slightly underthrown ball, but not a bad setup. And you got to take some risks here at the end of the half if you want to make this a one-score game as we head into halftime. Reading will receive the second half kick, so
that's a good point.
That could be trouble with them possibly going up 22 points.
Lexington yet to get a stop on that explosive offense.
Yeah, they haven't made a stop yet, so you kind of need a score here. Would be big. And it would start with a big return here from Jaden Waters or Keen Millett.
Although I wouldn't doubt Lexington's ability to hang in these games. They did that last week against Woburn. Coach challenged them once again to just win the second half, and they did that. I think Lexington has developed an identity of responding to adversity.
So it is going to be Braden Nelson set to kick this one away, and he will kick it a low one to Millett. They're avoiding Jaden Waters after he brought that last one to the end zone. Millett, not many yards. He's stacked up at about the 30-yard line, so it's going to be a long way to go with 2 minutes and 54 seconds here for the Lexington offense. Reading players are excited there after that play.
What do you think the scheme or tactics will be here on this last drive in the first half?
Yeah, I'd love to see if they can definitely get out into that longer pass play, and then you need the run plays that are going to get you to the outside, because maybe those can go out of bounds, or just higher risk plays that can give you big plays on the sideline. So you want to see if you can get your skill players out in space. Maybe they'll run some type of screen pass as well. Hatch had that play where he ran around for a little bit before finding Selski, so maybe they do something similar to that and just look to get their guys out in space and use some of the athleticism that has really been nice to have this game.
Yeah, it does seem like Selski and Millett have had the most success on the outside with a couple runs up the middle by C. Brown.
Yep, and so it's going to be given to Millett, who's going to go up the middle. Clock is going to roll, but he does pick up about 6, maybe 7 yards there on the carry. And so it is going to set up second down and 3. That was a 7-yard carry there from Millett. It's going to set up second down and 3 here for the Lexington offense as the clock continues to roll.
And Lexington's down-to-down success here has been much better than their previous outing against Newton South. I mentioned Tiandre only went for about 3 yards of rush in that game, but it seems like they've been able to get solid gaps up front.
Yeah, that was AB in that game, as he's now going to flip it to Selski for a couple yards up the middle. Problem is it's not going to pick up the first down, and the clock will keep going. No timeouts here for Lexington, as it is going to set up third down and 3.
They do have the 2-minute warning, though, so.
I don't think there's a 2-minute warning in high school football. Must have been watching the Thursday night game last night, which was a great game between the Steelers and the Browns.
Unkoff.
Or the Bengals. It's going to be Millett up the middle and thrown down. Really good tackle there from number 54, Brandon Lamontegu. That is the star running back's older brother, the junior.
Manson was slow to get up on that play as well. That's another blocker up front that they really need. He's been excellent at creating lanes up front, and they need him both on offense and defense. They're important.
Seems like the clock just glitched. Lost about 40 seconds or so.
This is the timeout clock here. That's running down. So it is going to be 4th down and 5 as they will likely bring on the punt team.
Yep.
Yeah.
Seems like they changed the clocks and
Although I don't know.
run down for the timeout, which has confused me a bit.
Is it 4th and 5 or 4th and 2? I think it might be more like 4th and 5 here.
Yeah, I think it's going to be 4th and 5 here to go. Going to be interesting if they can pick this one up.
They did kind of go for a longer 4th down in their own territory early in the first half, but maybe here you're just looking to take it into the half.
Yeah,
Not much potential for a touchdown.
Yeah, even if they do pick it up.
Yeah, it's a long ways to go versus giving Reading great field position with the opportunity to score.
Hard to see them scoring as there are a minute and 40 seconds to go. Drago will look to boot it away, and he will. Pretty solid kick there, but it is going to be to the player you don't want to see with the ball, who's going to use that blazing speed. He runs up the sideline. Oh, my goodness, he's still going and is still not brought down. Finally brought down inside the 30-yard line. So you end up, if you just go for that one, you actually give them the ball at the 35-yard line. Instead, they get it at the 27. So just a really good play there from Pulpy, who just used that electrifying speed on the outside.
Yeah, my history pod mate in the class of legendary coach Shane Wilson. He has a history of kicking. He was a soccer player back in Britain, but seems like you might want to coach him to just kick it out of bounds, not give Pulpy the ball in his hands.
Yeah, that has been a really good player. We just picked up a lot of yards, and maybe can you find a way to keep it away from him? They did kick it to his side as well, so maybe you can see if you can angle that kick at least to the other side and make him run across the field to get it. The offense will be on the field here for Reading with 1 minute and 27 seconds to go. It's been an offense that has thrown the ball a lot, and he will drop back to throw. It's Will Shoot who's going to throw it to the running back, Lamontega, who's going to break a tackle, but be brought down inbounds to keep the clock rolling at the 22-yard line. It's going to set up 2nd down and 6-ish. 2nd and 7 here on the 24-yard line. It is going to be the Reading offense continuing to pick up these yards and see if they can punch one in the end zone. The clock is under 1 minute to go here in this first half. Reading looking to run some slow clock situations. Shoot is in the shotgun. He'll send a man in motion.
We saw Reading go tempo earlier. Maybe that'll come again.
Yep, he's going to take the snap and drop back. He's got all kinds of time, but now they get into the backfield. He's on the run. He's going to throw it from the sideline. Will it be? It is caught, but it is out of bounds. That's a receiver who's been good all night, Jaden Gomes, but just couldn't stay in bounds as the throw, not much space there on the edge. Lexington did eventually get into the backfield on that one.
And great pursuit by Faisal Nasbuga and Alex Manson. It took them a second, but they did get significant pressure on the quarterback, flushed him out of the pocket, and forced him to make a difficult throw, forcing the incompletion.
Now what that does do is stop the clock, so it is going to be 33 seconds to go, as it's going to be 3rd down and 7 for this Reading offense. 2 plays to pick up the 7 yards, and 33 seconds to go as well. I believe they have 2 timeouts still, as they called one on the Lexington punt. So he'll take the snap, shoot, drops back. There's pressure quickly. He'll throw a little screen pass over the middle. All kinds of space and blockers downfield. Space for Lamontega, who's going to be taken out of bounds, though, but not after picking up the 1st down. Lamontega goes out of bounds, and there are 23 seconds to go in this half. Only, 4 or 5 plays, and that's if they all go out of bounds, as there's only 2 timeouts here for Reading.
Yeah, Lamontagne seemed like he had a lot of space there, but I thought Armand Espa made a great pursuit there, forcing him to the sideline and cleaned up for a relatively short game.
Yeah, but unfortunately it stops the clock, which I think helps Reading a lot.
True.
Yeah, they did get guys into the backfield, but were unable to come down with the play. The ball's on the 11-yard line, it looks like here.
It's on the 6, I think.
And so Shoot is going to take the snap and throw over the middle, and it's caught. Great catch. Does he get in? He does. And Reading's offense has been hard to stop thus far. Colin Mackey, he dropped the ball earlier, but comes up with a big touchdown catch there, as Will Shoot and this offense have been electric thus far.
Yeah, it just seems like these short little slant routes and, get their receivers into space and let them make a play. And right there, you know, they get a touchdown, which is a big break for Lexington, or big
play for Reading.
Yeah,
there.
though it is a lot to deal with for the Lexington defensive backs. I saw Ryan Puppy breaking on a corner route. You know, you got his electric speed to deal with, and it's just tough to cover all those aspects of the Reading offense.
Yeah, there's a lot to stop, as it is 34-12 on the made extra point. Awesome offense thus far from Reading here in this game. 5 touchdowns. It's just been fun to watch as they've put on an offensive performance. There are 15 seconds to go here if Lexington can maybe get a big return, but you expect Reading to maybe squib this one and just leave their defense one final play to stop.
Yeah, you don't want to give the ball in the hands of either Waters or Millette. They've been electric, and you don't want to give them that extra lane they need.
So Reading will kick this one away to the Lexington backs back there to make this catch. Braden Nelson lining up to kick this one deep. And he's going to put this one a little lower, as it will go to Waters, the one who had the kickoff return earlier. He'll bring it up the middle, but this time we're just going to be taken down for not much of a gain here with 9 seconds to go. The clock is stopped, but at the 35-yard line, not really expecting much out of the Lexington offense here.
Seems like Hatch just might kneel it down, take it at the half. They're down many scores, but I feel like they're still in this game. You know, their offense has shown a lot of promise. I know they've been stopped in the last few drives, but I think if they can get back to staying on schedule, getting those chunk runs of 15 to 20 yards, then they might have a little bit of a comeback here in the second half.
Yeah, Reading does start with the ball, but you're one big interception away from flipping this game entirely.
Yeah.
So Lexington just kneels this one.
Yeah, maybe they give it to a running back, see if they can score a touchdown here. As they'll do the double reverse thing again, as Millette will run it up.
A little bit of room.
He'll get some space and pick up maybe 15 yards, but the clock will come to double zeros, and that will end the first half. The team's running to the locker room. A Reading offense that has been awesome thus far in this game. Lexington played well in the first quarter, but struggled more in the second. They'll look to respond as we come out of halftime in 12 minutes. Thank you all for watching here on LexMedia.
This game is presented by LexMedia, giving Lexington athletes their moment under the lights. We're proud to showcase high school sports and celebrate the hard work, dedication, and community spirit of all of our student athletes. Whether it's football, basketball, or beyond, LexMedia is here to bring the action home to you. Find us on cable, streaming online, or at lexmedia.org. LexMedia, channeling the vision.
Welcome everyone back to Harold Crum Field here at Lexington High School. It was a super fun, high-scoring first half, but it was one that left Lexington down 22 points. We saw some electrifying plays by both sides. The star player, Polpe, was terrific, as we see the student section here, which has been great all night. Polpe has done a great job offensively. He has 125 all-purpose yards and 2 touchdowns, as well as Montague, who has number 33, who has 2 touchdowns, as it will be a short kick, but it is going to be one that's recovered by number 28, Kobe Johnson. Good play there. For Lexington's offensive stats, Eli Selski had 11 carries for 52 yards, did a good job, and a touchdown as well. On top of that, did a good job. And then Kean Millett with 28 yards on 6 carries. So some solid numbers for the Lexington offense here, as their defense comes out on the field needing a big-time stop here in what is a 22-point game currently.
Yeah, Lexington does need a stop here. Their offense has shown a lot of promise, but I think without a stop sometime in the second half, it's going to be tough on the morale of the offense to keep scoring points and keeping up with it.
And so it is going to be the talented quarterback shoot in the backfield. He'll fake the handoff to one and give it to the other. Monson, who's going to go all the way here. One play. Redding in for the score. Terrific job there. Great block on the outside. And Ray Lamontagne brings things to the house. Early touchdown. First play of the drive.
Good little fake right there. They faked the inside carry and then gave it outside. And just one blocker to hold one defender. And he was able to get up the sideline for another big play. And not the way you want to start the second half if you're Lexington.
Yeah, and a couple times now Lexington has lost contain on those explosive players outside. It's been Lamontagne a few times, and of course Polpe on the opening drive. And I really want to see them focus on just keeping the Reading offense in front of them and inside the numbers.
Yeah, you got to be able to hold the edge. As now a bad snap, but it is still put down.
What a hold by Kobe Johnson.
Great hold there by Kobe Johnson. So he puts the ball down, and the extra point is knocked through by a kicker who has been pretty good thus far, number 23, Braden Nelson. All right, so in a game that is slightly out of hand here, 29 points, it just, can Lexington win the half is what Coach DeLuca was talking about. They won it last week. Can they win it again and, pick up? If they can grab 2 touchdowns and make this a 14-point game, you never know.
Yeah, and I think we've seen a lot out of players that are going to be here next year, Selski, Millett, and Hatch. I want to see this offense build some chemistry and get things moving here.
And show who they are and who they will be next year. They don't have a lot of seniors on the offense right now, so just a chance to, get this offense playing well for what should be a big year next year. We got some coaches on the sideline setting things up, and it's now the kick will be taken and launched. It's a low squib kick. It bounces off someone. Does he get it?
I think Reading might have fallen on that one.
Patel
they called it.
Did not look like Patel could come down with the play. Ayush Patel bounces off the hands on a very unexpected onside kick, and Reading's going to come down with it. It's going to give them one more possession to look to extend this lead.
It's all about guys having to step up, on the hands team. It was Ayush Patel. You don't usually see a guy like that up front, but can't quite fall on it there.
Yeah, just tough break for the Minutemen, as it is going to bring on the Reading offense once again. Took them one play last time. We'll see how many it takes this time, unless Lexington can come up with a much-needed stop here early on in this half.
And thus far, seems like a timeout Lexington. But thus far, Reading has really been able to have whatever they want. It's been run, pass. Wilshoot has been throwing some absolute darts on the slant throws, and Lamontagne breaking contain on the outside. Lexington has not had an answer thus far.
Yeah, curious to see if they just maybe run some clock here and look to close out this game on the ground rather than what has been a terrific passing attack thus far in this one.
And a lot of time here, looks like Coach DeLuca is not happy in the huddle.
Yep, just going back to his point, he wants to win the second half and carry that momentum into the next game and hopefully catch a win.
Yeah, and you never like the term moral victory, but with the game in this margin, that's kind of what it's about. And it's really not a moral victory, but momentum from one week to the other. We saw that from the second half of the Woburn game to the first half or first quarter of this game, and I want to see them carry that into the next game.
Yeah,
Only 19 seconds have gone by in this half, but it's been a tough 19 for this Lexington team as they'll come up with a good tackle.
Couldn't be much worse, I guess.
And it could not be a much worse 19 seconds, as it is going to be a tackle. It's going to set up a 2nd down and 9, or 2nd and 10 still for Reading.
Connor, what do you want to see out of Lexington in the rest of the game?
I'd like them to get back to that passing attack that worked on that first drive well, but you know, it seems like they shied away from it a bit and just try to stuck to the run. But I think the passing would be good for them.
Yeah, and it is now Shoot will drop back and launch one down the field. And a good pass breakup there. Jaden Waters makes another good pass breakup. No flag this time. And that's a good play on Polpe, the #1 target for the Reading offense.
I actually thought that was obviously great separation by Polpe and a good ball by Shoe. He put it up where we thought his receiver could get it, but a great athletic play by Waters, staying with the play. He might have been beat, but he came back, made a play on the ball, clean play, and then forced a 3rd down here.
And he gets his hand back across and knocks that one down, and it will set up 3rd down and 9, a long 3rd down for the Reading offense. They haven't really faced many of these thus far in this game.
Good offense, better defense on that play.
Yeah, as there are going to be 3 receivers at the top of your screen. Shoot will take the snap and drop back. He'll look to throw it down the field, and it's a good throw up the middle. It's a guy who's been terrific all night, and he makes yet another good play. Jaden Gomes, the junior, 6'2 junior on the catch there, moves the sticks for the Reading offense. Great throw by Shoot.
It almost looked like he might have bobbled that one at first, similar to the first drive, but he came down with it. The second drive came down with it in the end.
Yeah, this has been a really fun offense to watch. It's been an NFL-style offense with some of the slant routes and quick balls over the middle. They've just really been good. And the offensive line actually is protected really well, as now it's going to be a handoff for not many yards there. Good tackling by the Lexington line, but the Reading line has done a really good job of just protecting for their quarterback and giving him chances to throw the ball, and then Lexington has not really stopped some of the underneath stuff that has just continued to move the sticks and wear down on Lexington's defense.
Yeah, and adding on to your point, I don't know, it feels like Shoot and Polpe and maybe even LaMontagne are next level guys. They've just been having a speed on a different level than the Lexington defenders.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lexington had Dylan Lane, who committed to Dean College last year. Some of these guys have been very similar caliber, if not better. So these guys could definitely be next level players. As the snap's been taken by Shoot, and he will give it to LaMontagne, who will not pick up many yards. Loss of yards there, actually. It's going to set up 3rd down and 8, another long 3rd down, but long 3rd downs haven't really troubled this offense in this game.
That's a great wrap-up by Jonas Baharlu there.
Gets into the backfield
as well as Ayush Patel, yeah. A lot of guys on Lexington, they play both ways. You see Millette and Patel out there just all the time. You have to wonder about fatigue, but they've stood pretty strong thus far.
Yeah, I mean, they also have a smaller roster, so fatigue also affects them more. You know, everyone's getting more reps than...
Trips at the bottom of your screen is going to be thrown out to the screen pass. Well set up play, and one that is going to be a touchdown. They set up the trips at the bottom of the screen and then sent out their guy, LaMontagne, who gets the ball on the edge, and he had the 3 blockers in front of him, just ran it into the end zone. That's his 4th touchdown of the game.
Man.
Just a really good game by him, and the skill players for Reading have been unbelievable.
Yeah, it seems like he didn't even have that much room there. He was able to just kind of make something out of maybe a 5-yard gain to a big 30-yard touchdown for him. But
yeah. I thought Jonas Baharlu had him all contained up, but that Bijan Robinson type juke to find some space.
Yeah, he's just gone. When they've gotten outside the numbers, they've been really good. As the extra point is knocked through. They've done a really good job outside the numbers and continue to do a good job thus far in this game. He has been really good. That's 48 points here through just 2.5 quarters. Awesome offense for Reading thus far.
Yeah, not the result Lexington wanted thus far in the game, but it is fun to watch. You know, Reading is just 1-4, but I find that hard to believe. You know, this offense has been absolutely electric, moving the ball up and down the field, and it doesn't really seem like a opponent-dependent thing. They're just really sound.
Probably a lot of tough opponents they faced in their schedule so far.
Seems like it.
Yeah, maybe if people can get into the backfield or something like that, or doing a better job of containing the receivers, that would be big. But we've seen multiple receivers just coming up and making plays. And it seems like everyone's been able to beat Lexington thus far. The skill players have been terrific. As the 2-3 Lexington may be dropping to 2-4.
Not over yet.
Ball is kicked, squib kick again, and it will be picked up by Tiandre Warren-Stevens, who's not able to pick up really anything at all. Gets things to the 37-yard line, and it will set up 1st down and 10 for the Lexington offense as they'll trot their way onto the field.
Maybe with the game at a 36-point margin, you want to give Hatch some more live time reps. I know Coach DeLuca emphasized keeping things simple, but maybe just some short routes, some out routes can kind of function the same way as the inside running game that they have. And you want to get your young quarterback reps so that he develops at a proper rate.
And maybe with the deficit here, they're running the clock on some of these situations where it may not normally want run. It is now going to be the Lexington offense onto the field. Hatch under center. He will roll out and pass, just like you said, Ben. He'll throw one down the field. It's a good-looking ball
I like
there.
to give him a chance. I mean, got to do something to change it up. So 1st down, start out with the pass, something you wouldn't really expect out of Lexington.
Yeah, Manson though was covered as Hatch looked to roll out and throw that one. Just couldn't really find him, but good-looking spiral there. Good throw from Hatch. Set up 2nd down and 10. The Lexington offense here, and what has just been a runaway game for the Reading offense, has just been explosive all around. Hatch will line up under center and take the snap. He'll give it to Selski. And Selski's going to pick up a couple and fall down to set up a 3rd down and 2 or 3 for this Lexington offense.
Selski's been a great patient runner early or in this game so far. I think it's helped him find some great holes and open up the running game.
Yeah, he's done a good job just looking at the gaps and finding the gaps, and that's what Lexington's done a really good job of creating, is some of those gaps. And their offensive line isn't going to push into you, but they're going to look to just create some holes for the running backs to get through and pick up some yards. Alrighty, now Hatch under center.
Maybe one to Christian Brown here.
Brown is in the backfield, and guess where it goes? Good call, Connor. Tony Romo-esque, as it is going to be some yards for Christian Brown. He will pick up the 1st down and move the sticks, getting things across the 50-yard line with 6 minutes and 30 seconds and a running clock here in this one. Lexington into Reading territory at the 49.
Yeah, Brown is hard to bring down in that scrum in the middle. He reminds me of the old Chiefs player Dontari Poe.
Great pull there from Ben Noble.
Yeah, they would just bring him in on the short yardage goal line situations, and they just punch it in every time.
Going back even further, the fridge on the 85 Bears is now the snap will be taken and given to Selski up the middle. As we show off our ball knowledge here, a couple of yards here for Selski, as it will set up now a 2nd down and 6 for the Lexington offense.
Solid drive here so far. They converted on 3rd down, and staying on schedule is really important for this Lexington offense, as we always say. They're doing that, moving the ball well. I think the offense has played a solid game here.
The offense has not been bad, and they've also gotten into situations where they could have gotten more points out of it. And so, just driving the ball down the field has been good to see. And if they could punch some of those in, they could have 30 points at this point in the game.
Yeah.
They'll take the snap and give it to Brown up the middle. Will pick up a couple yards. Still not going down as he looks to fall forward, but forward progress does get stopped there. This guy shove inside a little bit, and it will set up 3rd down and 4 as Lexington looks to keep the chains moving and continue the drive. Alrighty. Lexington's offense setting up here.
Seems like Hatch got the play call from the sideline. See what they pull out here on 3rd down.
Alrighty, now the Lexington offense heads onto the field and will take this snap. Hatch now gives it to Warren Stevens, who gets the edge, but is just barely brought down. Almost got there but a good tackle there.
It's number
from the Reading
16,
defender.
Michael Caracal. He threw him down violently, and unlike Lexington for much of this game, he contained the edge really well there, didn't let Tiandre Warren-Stevens get outside.
And so a good tackle there as they will send the punt team on. Looks like they've raised the white flag thus far in this game. Or actually, Ethan Hatch is still here talking to Coach, and he will run out on the field. So it's going to be a 4th down and 6 attempt here with 3 minutes and 50 seconds and counting thus far in this game. Hatch and Ayush Patel will step over the ball. Actually, that's number 54, James Burstein, in at center now. He's getting some reps as the ball will be flipped to Selski inside. Can he get there? Can he fall forward? And they're still going, and he
got it.
Does. I think he got there. Really good.
What a push.
Really good drive there from Eli Selski, the 5'11", 155-pound player, just running really hard. He's a small guy, but
Cam Scadaboo, always fighting for extra yards.
Big James Bernstein making an instant impact here in this drive, giving the young players some run.
James Bernstein in at center, getting a play there as now Patel will come back in the game, but Bernstein did his job.
Speaking of James.
Or no, he's still there. James Bernstein is still under center.
Oh, yeah, it seems like Patel might be lining up at guard now. Wonder if they might have had a player go out injured, or they're trying to give some new players some opportunities.
Hatch will line up under center and take the snap now, flipping it to Millette.
He's going to throw. Oh, Manson's open, though.
He's going to run now.
Man.
He might have had Manson, but instead he looked to run. It's not going to be recorded as a sack, but very similar to one. It's going to set up now a 2nd down and 16.
Seems like Manson broke free kind of late there, and Millette had already made the decision to just tuck and run.
Yep.
Yeah, a little hesitant there, but hard to really expect him to throw that ball with no real target open.
Tough play.
And just tough play all around.
I like the try by Lexington, though. 1st and 10, and you go for a little trickery for a pass-oriented play.
Yeah, we haven't seen this team here at home in about a month, and they've got some new wrinkles added to the offense, which is really cool to see. As there's a fumble,
and Millette dives on it, I believe.
Millette does fall on it, but it's going to set up a really long 3rd down here. Might just go draw type of thing and just hand the ball off.
Not Lexington's strength, exactly.
Yeah, it's definitely not. It's going to be 3rd down and 17 or so. Hatch will step out onto the field.
Speaking of, we were talking about James Bernstein earlier this drive. If any of you are coming in person, they've got his club, Men's Mental Matters, has a bake sale going on here, trying to raise some money for men's mental health. Go support.
I would love if you could buy some bake sale items, as now it is the double reverse to Selski up the middle, but not much going there. It's going to set up a very long 4th down, expecting Hatch to run off the field and them to just boot this one deep.
Seems like the offense is still out there. Not really sure what play call they have up their sleeve here. Maybe they'll just call a timeout. Seems like the move.
As the clock is in the
3rd quarter winding down.
3rd quarter is winding down, but it's not going to be enough to end the quarter. They are going to have to snap this ball.
They're going to spend a timeout.
Yeah, they may just spend a timeout here. Doesn't look like much is being planned thus far.
Yeah.
As the clock continues to roll.
Hatch with Coach DeLuca over on the sideline.
And Coach DeLuca calls for timeout there. Looks like. Clapping the hands a little like Kirby Smart.
That was an interesting sequence in that Georgia game. Georgia-Auburn.
Certainly was. It is going to be 4th and 17. As the clock keeps running, but I think, they're going to reset that, and there'll be one more play left in this quarter, likely. It's a long 4th down for Lexington. You would have expected them to boot this one deep, but maybe they'll, send Hatch out in the shotgun or something and try and, run a unique play here.
To be honest, I'm not sure if Lexington really has much outside of that wing T formation for passes, but maybe they'll have something for this 4th and 18. But
yeah, super interesting. In the first series of the first home game of the season, they came out in the shotgun, ran a couple of quick out routes, but ever since then, it's been this wing T formation. Seems like they must have rehearsed both styles of offense in preseason, although it seems like the offense is.
Yeah, I think they like that wing T formation.
It's the fourth quarter now.
I don't know that it is the fourth quarter.
Refs seem to pause the game, maybe looking at the clock.
I don't know that it is the fourth quarter yet.
I'm not sure how the clock ran all the way from about a minute left to the end of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I think they tried to reset that to the fourth quarter. It's actually not the fourth quarter. There's about 8 seconds left or so in this third quarter. I mean, this will be the final play of the third. Hatch is going to roll out and look to throw on a long fourth down. He's got a guy. Oh! Unable to come down with it was Eli Selski. It was just beyond the outstretched arms of the receiver, and he couldn't come down with it on fourth down.
Eli Selski, looks like maybe a little cramp in his hamstring.
But I thought that was a decent throw, but that will bring us to the end of the fourth quarter.
You like to see that out of the third quarter.
Good final play there as they look to set things up, but that will bring us to an end. We'll see you in the fourth.
This game is presented by LexMedia, giving Lexington athletes their moment under the lights. We're proud to showcase high school sports and celebrate the hard work, dedication, and community spirit of all of our student athletes. Whether it's football, basketball, or beyond, LexMedia is here to bring the action home to you. Find us on cable, streaming online, or at lexmedia.org. LexMedia, channeling the vision.
Alrighty, Reading's offense is out on the field here.
Previously, you could see that band. You love to see school spirit and the band showing up. Always great to see.
Reading's got their backups in the game here. It's going to be a new quarterback, number 19, Nakoa Ames. The junior is going to be in the game. He gave the ball there to number 39, Caden Duncan, on the carry, as it's going to set up second down and 11. A lot of young players in the game for Reading. I mean, what has become a bit of a blowout here.
He's another big body. Number 19 looks a little like Bryce Underwood.
Similar looking stature there for the quarterback, as he will set up on this second down and 12 play. We'll see if they throw it as much as they did with the other quarterback, who was awesome. This time it's going to be quarterback draw, which we didn't see at all. And it's going to be only about a yard or two on the play, if that maybe.
Shoot was an absolute gunslinger, so I want to see maybe Ames is a little bit more of a change of pace type quarterback, a little bit more of a running threat.
Yeah, for sure. Especially, you get that hint when he starts out with the QB draw to start.
And so now it is going to be third down and 12 for this offense here. Quarterback will run onto the field, setting up for third and 12 in a 36-point Reading blowout.
Reading just seems like a super competent team at passing. They're not afraid to let it fly. Quarterback's got the first quarterback had a strong arm. Let's see what Ames has here.
He's running himself.
QB power to the left side.
Yeah, he'll go and unable to bring him down until he picked up the first down, and he stands up in the face of Donovan Shelton there. Eventually brought him down, but not until the first down was picked up.
That's a strong run from your quarterback right there, and he's not afraid to go down or slide. Definitely a different style of play than Will Shoot, who's much more of a passer, has been mentioned.
Completely different offensive look here. Lexington probably does not have much preparation in for him. Shoot was such a sound quarterback and just played really well all game. The snap now, and it's given to the running back. Brought down, good tackle in the middle there by number 24, Jason Son, sophomore, with a big play.
Seems like they don't really have much of a worry running the offense under number 19, Nico Ames, but
yeah, they seem like they've something to plenty of backups here as the sophomore running back Caden Duncan took the last carry. He's coming in for the star freshman.
And so there are some new receivers in the game as well. It's going to be a throw now, first throw of the game, and well behind his intended target, number 81, Dylan St. Hilaire, the sophomore, unable to come down with it.
Almost thought that was backwards pass, almost a fumble, but it seems like they rule it an incompletion.
Yeah, if that had been out of bounds, that's actually some loss of yards, but
Yep.
well set up, 3rd down and 6. As Reading's run away with this one, but looking to punch it in for some more points with the backups in the game.
See if Lexington can get a stop here on 3rd down, build some momentum.
They get a Faisal Nazbuka in the backfield as the quarterback is a big body quarterback, just shoving guys off of him. Ames picking up a ton of yards.
Seems like he would be well suited, maybe even in this Lexington offense. You know, Army and Navy always like to have those run first quarterbacks that can make extra yards when needed, and it seems like that could almost be a good fit in Lexington. Transfer over.
Lexington could use a player like that.
Although Hatch is a great player, and he's coming into his own. And I think they got a bright future here in Lexington.
Yeah.
Certainly, he's picked it up a lot as the season's gone on.
Even though he missed that throw on 4th down, I think it was a really great show of what he can do when he's
I actually thought it was a good throw because he led him in front of him. That's what he needed. Koselski needed to catch that in stride to make the 1st down.
Yeah, he wasn't just thinking about catching the ball, but also picking up the 1st down.
Yeah, it's just good awareness. You need more than the initial completion, so he tried to lead him just maybe a yard over or so.
So it is going to be a false start.
Seems like Nico Ames doesn't quite have the experience and the maturity to run this offense quite like senior Will Shoot. Yeah,
he was just terrific.
He is a junior, though, so he'll have another year to develop.
Yeah, I see a bright future for Reading here. He's a good player.
Can definitely work on that arm for next year to see if they can run some similar plays.
Yeah.
As they did with Shoot. Now, Ames will be in the shotgun. That's what they've run all night. They'll take it and give it to a guy around the edge who's thrown down.
Isaac Jego, another violent throw down in the backfield.
Yeah, he brings down the running back. Terrific tackle there as number 32, Jared Frazier, the sophomore, just couldn't get anything going. Good tackle there.
Kind of the same play he had in the 3rd quarter, I believe, where he got penetration. They were trying to break it outside, but he held his edge, and I think that's something we could have seen a little more out of the rest of the Lexington players tonight, as they let, for the most part, Poolpe and LaMontagne get outside. But Jego has held his own here.
Yeah, containing the edge. That's what Lexington could have used, with just not letting guys get outside the numbers. As now Ames will set up once again with 4 receivers in the game, 2 at the top. As now the one from the bottom will come in motion. The snap is fumbled. He'll look to see if he can get anything out of it, but a really good job just getting into the backfield. Good tackle there by Vincentini Corbat there from Lexington.
Yep, you like to see Lexington getting a bit of pressure in the backfield and forcing a 3rd and 24 here, Not many positive in this game, but that's one of the bright spots for Lexington right now.
Yeah, they've certainly got into the backfield, and it is going to set up now a long 3rd down.
And I have to say, guys, even though Reading is backed up in this series, I like the way they use motion. They sent Jared Fraser in motion, and that's something I'd like to see out of Lexington.
So now Ames will look to launch one to the end zone and slightly overthrows his target, number 34, Nico Ullman. Just couldn't find him on the target, as it will set up a very long 4th down.
See if Reading has a nice kicking game. They do go for 1-point conversions on the extra points, so maybe they have a nice kicker.
Yeah, he's knocked the extra points through pretty easily thus far as of late. The first 2 early on weren't so great, but he's definitely gotten some distance on
him. They got the holder too, Kobe Johnson. He's a stud.
Yes.
I think they would punt it probably, right?
Kobe Johnson has been a great holder. It actually looks like they're going to punt it from their own 30-yard line. Interesting call here. Is very high school football-esque. You don't see this in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, a 47-yarder is definitely a far field goal here. in high school. But
despite the good holding ability of the offense, they are going to look to punt this one away. As now the clock is still rolling, but maybe a timeout for someone or something like that as now new guys come onto the field as they will punt from their own 29 or from the other 29.
Yeah, just a quick timeout. Might have had a substitutional procedural error.
There are 3 minutes and 40 seconds to go in this one, and what has just been a tough one for Lexington. He will look to pin him deep if he can, and it will go out the end zone unless it was touched by someone, was it? Might have been touched, which would make that a touchdown, but hard to tell what happened down there. Looks like it's going to be Lexington ball from about the 1 yard line or something like that.
I saw the ref signal a touchback, so I think
that would bring things out to the 20 yard line.
I think that would be the best thing for Lexington here, as might have touched one of the players.
Well, Lexington might be a little backed up, not quite the strong field position they had in a lot of the first half kick returns from Waters and Selski. They might have to drive the length of the field here if they want to get some points.
Seems like clock will continue to run.
And just getting to the end of what has been a hard-fought game, but just an impressive Reading offense. I think that was actually the first punt forced and first non-touchdown drive,
first non-touchdown drive
from Reading. Right. Just terrific offense in this game. And really hard to stop. And I don't see a lot of teams stopping that. Actually,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Looking at their scoreboards, they've had a lot of high-scoring games.
Yeah.
It's just been their defense that's been the problem, and their defense picked it up tonight.
Yeah, they did. Only 2 minutes to go. Let's see if Lexington can at least move the ball somewhat.
They're just going to run a handoff up the middle.
Not sure.
Not much going there.
No 2-minute warning in high school.
Yep.
And so it is going to be a quick little handoff there. And so offense will continue to set up here. They've got a new quarterback in the game. It is number 20, Michael Denoncourt, who is in the game. One of my childhood friends. Love to see him getting some reps as he's handed the ball off on first down. Let's see if maybe they'll drop him back to throw. He's a baseball player, so he's got a good arm. Well, actually injured right now. Not sure if he can throw.
Yeah, don't tell the Reading coaches that.
Yeah, we do not want the Reading coaches to know that one, as it is going to be second down and 10 from, as Michael Denoncourt will pitch it to the outside, and not much going there from number 29, Izias Aquino here on this final drive of the game as we get inside a minute. One more play here for Denoncourt and the offense as he looks to see if they can pick up some yards and end this game on a good note.
Clock will continue to run. It's a 3rd and 8 for Lexington, backed up in their own territory.
Mikey here on 3rd down and 8 with 30 seconds to go. Denoncourt takes the snap and hands it to the outside, and great pursuit by Lexington as they sling down by Reading as they sling down Kingsley Fung, running back, picking up no yards, the freshman.
They're going to need all the momentum they can get from this game. They got a big one at home next week against Winchester, who has looked really strong here early in the season.
Yep, not the result you want to end with, but there's definitely a few positives to continue to build on for Lexington. So keep your head up, and hopefully they can solidify a win maybe next week against Winchester.
It was a fun first quarter, and the offense really had it figured out then, but it was Reading's offense that came out on top all night long. We thank you all for joining us. We hope you'll join us next Friday against Winchester in what is going to be another big Middlesex League matchup. Thank you all for watching. I'm Tevin Catella. With me is Connor Wynn and Benjamin Noble. From everyone at Lex Media, thank you and have a good night.
This game is presented by Lex Media, giving Lexington athletes their moment under the lights. We're proud to showcase high school sports and celebrate the hard work, dedication, and community spirit of all of our student athletes. Whether it's football, basketball, or beyond, LexMedia is here to bring the action home to you. Find us on cable, streaming online, or at lexmedia.org. LexMedia, channeling the vision.